Australian Road Race Championship for the last couple of years. And down here at Phillip Island at the World Superbike Rounds, it's dynamic action. And it will be Daniel Stauffer on bike 26. He'll start from pole position, the inside of the first row. Alongside him, Johnny Chiodo, Philip Island, Luke Bond, Dave Kelly, Scott Osborne, and Peter Barretts make up row number 5. On row 6, Richard Kluger, Ben Burgick, Nick Mullen, and Jason Thornell. On the 7th row, the double zero machine of Doug Hall, Martin Bobrowski, Mark Arnold, and John Linney. That is row number 7. Row number 8, Steve Eden and Paul Locke. They are the 30 men who will contest this 250cc production category. And if you were paying close attention, you'd have noticed that everybody is on the Suzuki, bar the Irishman J.J. O'Reilly. He is the lone man riding an NSR Honda. It's not a total Suzuki class, but they are, well, traditionally anyway, the fastest 250cc production machines, and that's why everybody is riding them.
That's so true. Maybe JJ's doing things possibly the Irish way. Am I allowed to say that? But,
oh, absolutely. He won't mind. There he is on bike number 13.
Yeah, it's amazing how, I guess, competitive the Suzuki is, and he sits there on his Honda more than confident that his NSR can do the job. I guess that's why he's on it.
Well, he's got the Scott Russell shark fin on top of the helmet. See Scotty Russell out there last year in the World Superbikes, in the shark fin happening from the top of the grid, and they're just waiting now for the Polster to make his way through the grid. That bike there, number 15, belongs to Ross Cooper, but it will be number 26, Daniel Stauffer, on board his Suzuki RGV 250. They will start from pole position. They clear the grid, red light, green light, they are underway on an 8-lap dash in the 250cc Prodies, and it was Daniel Stauffer from pole position who got the power down and will lead them down the straight towards turn 1 for the very first time. But look at the charge behind him. Chiodo was there with Phillip Ryan as well, but Stauffer had the netties to hold them out as they came down towards turn 1. Jamie Stauffer got through for second, so it's a Stauffer-a-thon. The Cornella at the moment, first and second for the Stauffers.
The boys have come through. A bit of mixing up down the back there, but everybody's getting through cleanly, but it's the two Stauffers out front. Phil Ryan third.
That's the right on the bike number 43. So at the moment it's Stauffer and Ryan in 4th place. The number 21 machine of Johnny Chiodo.
Johnny Chiodo didn't get away from the line cleanly, and the Stauffers are out breaking and bouncing off each other.
Daniel and Jamie swapping paint as they came through the hairpin at Honda corner, and it is Daniel at the moment who is out in front as they come around Siberia. Jamie's right there with Phil Ryan and Johnny Chiodo there in 4th place.
Yeah, and Danny Carter's made his way up into 4th, actually, and he's on number 25. Phil Ryan looking a bit untidy through the S's over the back, but he's got it together at the moment.
You're exactly right, it is Danny Carter. In fact, he started from the outside of the front row on the bike 25. He is in 4th place, and Johnny Chiodo got lost in the shuffle as they charged down the straight for the very first time. Oh, Jamie Stauffer there having a look up the inside of Daniel. Oh, very wide too. Look at the lines coming. There was J.J. O'Reilly on that NSR Honda getting a little bit hot in towards MG corner.
Yeah, Johnny Chiodo trying to make up some ground that he lost in the first half lap. Really wide through MG, but got a bit of clear track in front of him now, so he'll have his head down for sure.
So as they come down to the line at the end of the first lap, it's Daniel Stauffer who leads Jamie Stauffer, and then a couple of riders across the line. Philip Ryan was right there with Danny Carter, and Johnny Chiodo is back there now in 5th place, not that far from them, and he has been in terrific form. He won both races at Broadford in the Victorian Championship not long ago, but look at Jamie Stauffer stuff it up the inside of Daniel to get the wheel through. He lets him go through, says Daniel. You can take the lead for the moment, but it might not be yours for much longer.
I'll tell you what, they're playing at close quarters, but getting away with it at the moment. And Johnny Chiodo, I noticed, ran really wide on the exit from the first turn, so he's trying pretty hard too. Here they are, braking duel down into Honda. Stauffer's out in front. They got a bit of air between each other this time, so that's a bit better. Not much though.
Getting the drive though was Daniel as he got right back up to the back wheel there of Jamie, and around they go through Siberia with barely a broken match between them as they come up the back of the circuit through turn 7. They go left, then they go 8, And there's Phillip Ryan back there on the number 43 Suzuki RGV 250 up towards the hill at Lukey Heights. Daniel Stauffer cuts across the nose of Jamie Stauffer and back into the lead he goes.
Got the better line out of the right-hander and then in a better position to attack Lukey Heights as well. Down under brakes.
Oh, Johnny Chiodo back in the pack, got underneath Danny Carter there to take fourth position. So Carter sits up just a little bit on the bike as they head in towards turn 11, but out in front, bike 26 is Daniel Stauffer. Jamie Stauffer still in second place, but Phillip Ryan, a tighter line through turn 12, might launch a little assault here down the straight as they come across the line. Daniel Stauffer has a little bit of a break and he should hold this lead into turn 1. Phillip Ryan pushes through for second place past Jamie Stauffer. We've seen Phil Ryan do so well. It's a production race. Well, he swept past him down into turn 1 to take the lead. He made up metre after metre.
Yeah, that's the difference between being in the draft behind one bike as compared to being in the draft behind two bikes. Then one of the Stauffers, I think, went wide out there into Southern Loop. But yeah, it's a big difference when you get a two-bike draft down the straight here, Phillip Island. Phillip Ryan out in the lead at this stage, and Johnny Chiodo trying to get himself up there, and he's not too far back at the moment.
At all. Phil Ryan now as they come down towards Honda. Look at them jump on the brakes and how quickly they stop. That is graphic there as they come down to the hairpin. Daniel Stauffer back into the lead in front of Phil Ryan. So they swap places yet again, but they may not be done with on this particular lap because we've still got Siberia and then the second half of the circuit to go. But it's Stauffer in the lead from Ryan. Johnny Chiodo, the wily old veteran on bike number 21, is right there in the mix. We've seen him lead a couple of races here at Phillip Island. We've also seen him crash out of the lead by the same token. He'll be trying not to do that today.
Exactly. He wasn't too happy about that, but he's kept it together. He gets back on it, and he does go surprisingly well, Johnny, and usually a leading contender in the 250s.
Down to NG they come. The field bunches up. Jamie Stauffer getting through. Johnny Chiodo had to sit up for a second there. He nearly came together with Danny Carter. Oh, they are really mixing it up in the 250 Prodies.
I think Danny Carter was stuffing him back a little bit from the lap before. Ryan, I think that was right on one of the Stauffers.
So they come down the main straight. Across the line they come, and it is Daniel Stauffer across the line, holding them for the moment. Phillip Ryan is there, and Jamie Stauffer in third place. But look at Phillip Ryan again as they go down the hill into the right-hander. The back of the bike wiggling there. He got past Daniel Stauffer. He takes the lead once more. Stauffer coming back under brakes up towards Southern Loop. Jamie Stauffer back there in third place. There's Danny Carter and Johnny Chiodo who are dueling it out for fourth place at the moment. Ryan has opened up a little bit of a gap here, Kevin, as they come down towards the left-hander.
Yeah, he's put a little bit of time on him, but as we've seen before, it won't last very long at all, more than likely. Someone will have a desperate attack and close that gap right back up.
Now we track with them through Honda Corner. Robbie Phillips, what a dice this is up in front. Get back to you in a moment as they come up towards Siberia now. And it is a real battle here. A five-way go at the front of the pack. Phillip Ryan and the two Stauffers right behind him now. Daniel there on bike number 26. Jamie Stauffer on bike 20 and Phillip Ryan on the number 43 machine out in front at the moment. But they have closed that gap up considerably. They'll be trying to tack on as they come around the top of the circuit there from MG through turn 11 and then around turn 12 back to the start-finish line. Ryan a little bit wide there, trying hard under brakes. Chiodo and Carter is there as well. They've been having a real battle there for fourth place.
Yeah, Chiodo every time runs into MG quite hot and out wide on the exit. I guess he's got a reason for doing it, and at the moment he's trying to get a run. He's sitting in fourth at the moment, but he needs to catch that lead pack a little bit more and tack onto the draft in a better fashion.
I've got a feeling that isn't all that far away as Ryan leads them across the start-finish line. This time, Daniel Stauffer's going to sit there and just watch him go into turn one. No attack coming this time into the first corner. Chiodo has made up a lot of ground in fourth place there, but he still has Jamie Stauffer between himself and the two leaders, Phillip Ryan and Daniel Stauffer. This is lap 5. We've just got the halfway mark past. They've just gone past that. We've got 4 laps left to run here. Phillip Ryan, Daniel Stauffer looking for a tighter line as they come through the kink, the fast left-hander. You're screaming maximum speed on these RGB 250s of around about 210, 220 kilometres per hour here at Phillip Island. Phillip Ryan, for the time being, holds them off up towards Siberia.
He's got them under control at this point, but as you can see from some of the aerial shots we get, the lines that these guys take are many and varied. They're old guys like John Chiodo, and he'll hate me for saying that, but young guys and middle guys, you know, all different styles of riding, but they all seem to come to the same result.
How would you be if you were Mrs. Stauffer watching us on TV and saw your two sons out there trying to carve one another up? You clipped them under the ear when they got home, wouldn't you?
There could be drama around the kitchen table later this evening. And still, Danny Stauffer out in front for the time being with Phillip Ryan. Ryan has the better of it for the moment. It may not last too much longer. Come around the top of the course, past the pit lane entry area. Phillip Ryan, after the lead swapped a couple of times, the 2 or 3 previous laps, has been able to do a good job of holding them all off for the time being. Stauffer now, down towards the line. He comes across, and it will be another go as they come down towards turn 1 here. Jamie Stauffer looking up the inside of Ryan. Daniel Stauffer back out in front. Up towards Southern Loop they go, turn 2. Getting up to the final couple of laps of this 250cc production race. Around the left-hander they go, up through the gears.
And Johnny Chiodo's not making the inroads he wanted to. It looks like he's slipped back to 5th at the moment, so no, maybe even further back, even to 6th. But anyway, the boys up front are starting to play real hard, nice and tight there in these last couple of laps. Big braking duel down here into Honda. Who's going to come out on top? Ryan, by the look of it, he's on the inside. Yeah, he's gone too wide.
Now it's going to be a real dice up towards Siberia. Daniel Stauffer got the best of that. And he leads, but he goes a little bit wide as well, looking for that late apex as they go up the back of the circuit now. Phil Ryan up towards turn 7, tacking on. Look how close it is. He's right there with him now. He's going to take the lead again. Through he goes into first position. He may not have the line though, and Stauffer comes back. Well, they swapped the leader within a couple of 100 metres of each other.
That was a weird one. We don't know how Robert and I are just looking at each other trying to figure out how the hell did that happen.
Well, it looks like he missed a gear, or not actually missed a gear, he just went...
Ah, there's a big crash! There's a big crash back in the pack. Johnny Chiodo free wheels off the circle behind them, but Jamie Stauffer has come together with maybe Danny Carter. There's the 20 bike of Jamie Stauffer. He's certainly gone off. That was a big collision as they came off the hill at Lukey Heights. So what it means now is it's a two-way go out in front between Daniel Stauffer and Phillip Ryan. So what was a 4 or 5 man battle is now a race in 2 between these two men. Well, that was a big coming together down the hill there at Lukey Heights. Johnny Chiodo got caught up in it. He went off the circuit but stayed on the bike. And here we look at it again. Back in the pack. Whoa, that was that Danny Carter behind them who kicked up Jamie Stauffer. He lost the front end, and then Stauffer went flying off the front of the bike, and well, that was unfortunate for all of them there. It really has cost any of those riders a chance of victory here in this 250cc production race at Phillip Island. Here it is again. You see them go flying past in the background. Jamie Stauffer was up in the air for a little bit. That was very unlucky for him.
It was Danny Carter, I think, that brought that undone. He tried to get up the inside and down the hill there. He was fairly tight out in fairly dirty ground and lost the front end.
Oh, look at this move from Daniel Stauffer now around the outside of Phillip Ryan, if you don't mind.
That's a huge move.
That's what happens when you're young, though, isn't it? You know, you take these chances because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well,
or what can happen.
I think we've all explored the edge of the envelope and a little more.
Well, look at them here as they come up towards Lukey Heights. They're handlebar to handlebar, and it's Daniel Stauffer across the top of the circuit. Once again, lap 7 of 8 laps. Down they go with the carnage off to the left-hand side there. The bikes who crashed out of it being cleaned up by the course officials. They come around the top of the circuit. So we've lost 3 or 4 of the main contenders, but we've still got the 2 front runners out here dueling for the lead. And when they come down to the start-finish line, they'll have just 1 more lap to go here. Off the top turn they come. Stauffer will lead down to the line. pulling out of the slipstream now is Phillip Ryan. He has the power, not quite to get past Daniel Stauffer. They almost come together. Stauffer wobbles back out to the middle of the track, and look at Ryan now. Push the front end in and say, please get around there, Suzuki RGV 250.
Oh.
That was very close again, and Stauffer now around the outside, like he did on the last lap. Oh, just amazing stuff.
Yeah, Ryan ran a little bit wider.
Stauffer nearly high-sided himself, the back end. Ryan connected with him and slides out of the race. Oh, there is tears. He tries to get to the bike and get off the track before somebody mows him down. The bike went up the road about 50 more metres than him. Well, they were riding like, well, the last of the Mohicans there. There's some, well, the foot pegs come off the bike and the gear lever as well. So Daniel Stauffer had to try and complete the lap with no gear lever and no foot peg. Oh, this could mean somebody might be able to pick him up here as he comes up the back of the circuit. This is very dangerous for him. Look at the front of the bike there, Patter. Now he's going to try and nurse it across the line.
He's going to try to get there, but I think second and third may well run him down. He's probably thinking right now, how can I get in there and change gears? But he can't really.
Oh, so he's in the same gear, and here they come. It's the charge of the Light Brigade behind him. Who is this? Bike number 38, Scott Charlton, has come from nowhere. He was way off the pace. He was back towards 9th or 10th a couple of laps ago, and now he's going to come through and take a victory. You wouldn't believe this result. No. 6 seconds behind as they came across the line with 1 lap to go.
Chiodo 11 seconds back.
Oh, and look at Daniel Stauffer now, just trying to limp the bike around the top of the circuit. So Scott Charlton is going to come through and take an incredible victory. They went down like dominoes at MG Corner, and then Ryan and Stauffer came together, and they've handed the race to this man, the number 38 bike of Scott Charlton. He takes an improbable victory in the 250cc production race. Johnny Chiodo got through for third. Daniel Stauffer limped home in 4th place. Michael Bevan came through to rob him of a spot on the podium. That is wretched luck for the man who led a lot of the race.
Well, that's a turn up for the books, a big turn up for the books, and the biggest one has been Scott Charlton only being a B grader at this point in time. And have a look at this.
As they came out of Southern Loop, Stauffer had it going all over the place, and then Ryan came across, collected him, and slid out of the race.
The front wheels caught the foot peg and locked the front wheel up and ripped the foot peg off in the process, and then gone down.
Exactly what's going on. Here we go. Stauffer's got out of the seat a little, lost a bit of drive, and then he straightened it up, and Ryan's still sort of committed there and coming across, and just they basically come together, and that was it.
Yep.
Well, Stauffer had the best part of 2/3 of a lap to go to try and keep the bike going, but in the same gear he was always going to do it very tough, and they swamped him as they came across the line, and he couldn't even hang on to 3rd place after he had a huge gap at that particular time, but with no gear lever. Phillip Ryan was doing his best to get off the track as quickly as he possibly could. So Scott Charlton, there's Phillip Ryan. Well, he must be thinking, geez, what's gone wrong? But there's Danny Carter losing the front end and firing Jamie Stauffer out of the seat. Johnny Chiodo there, Johnny Chiodo on bike 21, got caught up amongst it, and he went off the grass, and well, he took 2nd place. So as it turns out in the wash, it probably wasn't a bad result.
A typical 250 production race with a little bit of carnage and a lot of upheavals during the race, but that's what makes it so fantastic to watch, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
So the top 5 there. Scott Charlton takes the checkered flag and the victory. Johnny Chiodo 2nd place. Michael Bevan in 3rd. Daniel Stauffer limped home across the line with no gear lever for 4th. Daniel McLaughlin, who came home in 5th place, some 7 seconds behind Scott Charlton. Peter Wilde was 6th. Nathan Brooks 7th. And then it was Yaniv Peleg, Sean Clue, and Mark Beveridge, just over 21 seconds off the time of the leader, Scott Charlton. Cameron, what an unbelievable race in the 250cc production. Wait for the green light. There it is, and away they go. Daniel Stauffer got a good start again from the inside of that front row, and everybody pours off under the bridge for the first time. You can see the effect of the wind. It is howling here at Phillip Island, and Phillip Ryan on bike 43, he got the gas down quickly and heads through turn 1, leading them for the first time, closely followed by Danny Carter, who started from the outside of the front row. Ryan goes back to 2nd as Carter, in fact, does take the lead from them. And there's Scott Charlton, yesterday's winner, on the number 38 bike. He's up there in 4th position for the time being.
Great race start there for the B grade. metre, who won yesterday's race. So right up there from the start today, and in with a good show by the look of it for a B grader.
What a shot that is as they scream across the top of the ripple strip there, coming through the fast left-hander at turn 3. The field bunches up now at the hairpin, but they head up towards Siberia, and it is still Danny Carter out in front of Phillip Island on the 43 machine. On bike number 42 is Daniel McLaughlin, who started from the second row in 7th position. Around the back of the track they go, up through turns 7 and 8. They head right. They climb up the hill towards Lukey Heights. This is lap 1 of an 8-lap race in the 250cc production category. It's Ryan at the moment who's taken the lead from Carter as they come up the top of the track. He runs a little bit wide there off Lukey, but he has enough of a lead to hold that gap as they go down to the second hairpin at MG corner.
One rider getting out a little wide there. Could be due to the fact that this wind is actually blowing around a lot of dust, and that gets on the circuit and just makes it that extra little bit slipperier, and it can catch a couple of riders out possibly.
Phillip Ryan on bike 43 has a bit of a margin now over Danny Carter in second place, and he might try and gap them and try and get away from them. Put some space between himself as Daniel McLaughlin roars across the line as everybody tears down Gardner Straight. McLaughlin moves up into second place now, but look at that gap that Ryan has as they come through turn 1 for the second time. He's got a bit of a gap there. This is an 8-lap dash, but if anything, that lead has closed considerably. Daniel McLaughlin, as they head up through Lukey Heights, is getting ever closer to Phil Ryan, and Nathan Brooks is right there with him, so they're making their charge down towards the leader.
Brooks is coming up in a big hurry, and he certainly doesn't want to... Whoa, who we got
Couple of
here?
men off. Oh, and somebody getting on the gas too quickly after they came off onto the dirt on the side of the track. And that looked like it was the number 25 bike. Yes, Danny Carter. Well, we saw him crash out yesterday. He locked the front brakes going down towards MG corner, and he crashes out yet again today.
That's a shocker there. He just tried to get going again a little bit too soon and spun the thing around, did a bit of a pirouette and landed back on his feet and ran off. Here, we'll have a look at it now.
They come down towards MG corner. They touch slightly there. There's contact. And then Carter spears off the back of the circuit there. And we're just trying to pick up who it was who touched him in the rear tyre. That man, whoever it was able to continue on. Danny Carter tried to gas it up and get back on the black stuff. Almost high-sided himself in the process.
It was a good recovery, even though he did fall off and put the bike on the ground.
In the meantime, no, this battle for second continues on with Nathan Brooks looking up the inside of Daniel McLaughlin. He got past him, under brakes into Honda corner, then sits up for the apex and powers away again. They did take a couple of tenths of a second out of the lead of Phillip Ryan on that last lap. We're on lap number 5 right now here at Phillip Island. So Nathan Brooks, he might be the man to throw down the gauntlet to Phillip Ryan. You see him there in front of him on the number 43 machine.
If he can keep the same rate up that he's catching Phil Ryan at the moment, he's got enough laps to do it. But that'll come down to a lot to do with lap traffic and a few other things. As far as we can see, keeping the bike on its 2 wheels seems to be a problem for some of these 250 punters.
Look at this drag race as they head across the start-finish line between Mark Beveridge and Daniel Stout for the pole sitter, who has been pushed way back in the shuffle now on the second last lap, and up the inside goes that man Mark Beveridge on the 51 bike and steams away from Stout at the same time. A very cautious line there for Phil Ryan as he came around MG corner for the last time. Turn 11, he negotiates his way around that. Has just one more turn to go before the checkered flag will greet him at the start-finish line. Terrific victory. The A-grader in the 250cc production race. He hangs off the side of the bike, then straightens it up to come down and take the checkered flag in race 2 of the Prodies. Phil Ryan wins it from Nathan Brooks. He's delighted to be second. And Daniel McLaughlin comes across the line on bike 42 in 3rd place.